Ron Brown with your Being Truly Well Minutes for today. And I spent a lot of time yesterday going through a lot of papers and things, mainly old bank records and things like that. And of course you have to tear those up if you're going to throw them out. So there was a lot of cathartic time going through and making sure that all the information that could be seen was ripped into little tiny pieces. And, I looked at old objects that I had and went through and I was looking for what can I get rid of, what can I keep, what can I donate. So far, no donation stuff yet, but I'm getting to the better stuff today. And obviously I'm going to give it to Goodwill Industries, like I said, a great organization that helps people with disabilities and disadvantaging conditions to gain the skills needed to become employable. And I firmly believe in that mission. But the one thing that I'm noticing is that the idle time between. What do I mean by the idle time between? Well, we all have a to-do list. And I don't like to call it a to-do list as a done list. What do I mean by that? Well, there's the power of intent that is part of the secret, and it's part of our embryonic truth, is that we know what in our heart of hearts, we know what we need to accomplish. But as long as we look at it as need to accomplish, there's a limiting factor in it. The way The Secret, or if you don't like calling it The Secret, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, if you don't like calling it that, the way that the Bible puts it, or Joel Osteen mentions about seeing as if it's already achieved, is see yourself having already accomplished these things, and then you pull yourself through the paradigm shift that we talked about of desire of getting it done, because we see it as done, so therefore we must do it. And so that's what I've been trying to do lately, and it helps, because if you see it as something that has to get done, it's on your list, you can always delay it till tomorrow. But if you truly see it as already done, then in your subconscious mind it's saying, this is a priority, guys. It's already done. He sees it as done. We need to make this happen. So crank up the engines, get it going. And what I've liked yesterday to go a lot smoother as far as getting through those boxes, because I spent a good 8 hours going through boxes, and I only got through 5 boxes. Some tubs and 4 boxes. So, but in them were a lot of papers that needed to be ripped up and shredded, and I don't have a shredder, so I spent a lot of time tearing them up and looking through some things, and looking through the past. I ran into my old high school yearbook, and I looked at myself when I was on the swimming team, very thin person who enjoyed swimming, and I do. I enjoy swimming very much. I don't get to do it very often, and since all this weight was on me, the only time I would swim is if I went to my father's house and used his pool. The confidence of doing something when you're a heavy person has often dwindled. And yet, if you see yourself as being thin, not as being the way you currently are, then your body and the intention of what you eat, the exercise you do, everything else will fall into place to go with it. So I've learned to reset button on my mind and let the power of intent yearn and pull me to what I see as the end game. Not end game, but to where I want to be. And not look at it as want to be, but am. I know it sounds a little foolish, but it truly is the way the universe works. And, remember I talked about before my Broom Broom and my nephew Ryan, who I love very dearly. He's the most amazing artist, and I know that has a wonderful career that's in his path. And his desire for his Broom Broom, and how he wanted it so much, and he got it. And he loved that Broom Broom until it didn't work anymore. I think his brother got to take advantage of that Broom Broom also. And the thing is, making it reality with desire and longing for it lets the subconscious mind catch up to the conscious mind. And I'm just so very blessed in my life that I'm able to see things clearly. Maximizing each moment of the day, not allowing time to go by on something that has to be done. We all can get different parts of our life in order. For example, let's say you wash your car and you don't clean out the inside. Then what you have is something that looks nice until you get inside of it. Then there's some dirt on the floor. You need to vacuum it out. You need to clean out things. Maybe a cup from a fast food restaurant you went to. Those little things will bug and get you. Do you have broken things that are in your life? A broken clock that hangs on a wall. Maybe the battery needed to be changed in it. Maybe the clock doesn't work anymore. But you hold on to it. You cleave onto it because it was always there. That is something that always reminds you of past times where something did not work. So you need to clear yourself out of those. And as I go through the boxes and different things in my life, for example, I found a pair of Nike flip-flops that I had. And Nike, great name brand. And so I held on to them. But yet on the side of it, where the flip-flop top part was a tear on the side. Obviously, after a little while, it's going to tear more. And eventually, the flip-flop will be broken. So I made the conscious decision, throw it out. Now, that's a silly, small example, but I want you to get the point of it. That flip-flop was never going to heal. The flip-flop was never going to get better. It was not something I could donate to Goodwill Industries because it would be bad for someone else as well. So if it's bad for someone else, why would it be good for me? Yet I held on to that pair of flip-flops, even though I had a generic pair of flip-flops in the same container that I also didn't wear, that were sitting in there, that I could see myself wearing those. So sometimes we hold on to things for a couple of reasons. Number one, pride. Oh, I want the label, I want the name brand. I've got to have Gucci, I've got to have, the latest labels. And sometimes it's because we're afraid to let go. Fear that you won't have another one. Well, there's lots of stuff in the world, and the universe truly can provide you what you need, what you want, and what you desire. You've just got to put it into focus. And I call it the wanter. The wanter in you has to see that good things can come. Well, if it knows you have something that's good enough, then it's not going to want to replace it with something better. So Napoleon Hill always talks about, in his book Think and Grow Rich, there's a spot in there where he talks about these explorers that were going to go into a battle, and they took their ships to this island where they were going to conquer. And then the captain ordered the ships to be burned, which was their only way home. And they said, "Captain, why did you order the ships to be burned?" And after they were all burnt, he said, "Because now we have no choice but to win. There's no retreat." And I get chills whenever I hear that or read it. I have my copy. I actually ran into of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it's the unabridged original 1937 version. And I love this. And I want you to see something. I put two things in here. Number one, an easy pass form, because I know that it's something I need to go in and check on. But I also put a dollar bill. Now, why would I have a dollar bill in here? Well, it's kind of a subconscious thing for me, and just a little brain teaser. It's money. And by using it as my bookmark, I'm able to see that wherever this book is left on is a chance to make money. I know, kind of silly, but it's how my mind works sometimes. But the amazing thing to me is that if you have a singleness of purpose, the object, for example, for those men on the island that burnt the ships, is they had no choice but to totally focus on winning or die. And there's no fight or flight mentality if you've taken away the flight. So many things in our lives are constantly moving. The world is always moving. The world is always spinning. Things are always moving forward. But sometimes we aren't. Sometimes we are the relic that's stuck in our ways, that's sitting in a place of comfort or stagnation. And the only way to free that up is to burn the ships out in the sea, so that you can go nowhere but forward. Singleness of purpose, desire, knowing what your end game is, what your desire is, those things are what it's going to lead to being and accomplishing those things that you see clearly in your mind as already done. So I'm doing that every day, more and more. And I'm not perfect, nor do I claim to be perfect, but I am focused. And Friday was very cathartic for me. And Saturday, waking up and just diving into boxes, and even though it was taking hours to finish every paper that needed to get shredded, that I ran into in the total of 5 containers, boxes and containers, was shredded. What needed to be kept or cleaved onto was kept. My DD-214 was there, which is my military discharge paperwork. That's there. Letters of recommendation. Thank you cards from when I worked at Goodwill Industries were kept. Students telling me that I made a difference in their lives. That was kept. That's what I call the Hallelujah folder. A Hallelujah folder, and you don't have to be religious to have a Hallelujah folder, but a Hallelujah folder is when you hold on to things that show the successes in your life, the times when you achieved and exceeded your reach, or that you received a genuine appreciation from someone else, a thank you card, a moment when they said yes, and they said, oh, I just so appreciate this or this or this. Those are good things. You need to keep those in front of you. So I kept them in a folder, and I have it all together, and I'm able to go to that folder and look through it any time I want. Those are good things. So today, I'm going to shave, because I need to do that, and got to call in my unemployment, because I have to do that every Sunday, and, call in the numbers the way they need to be done, the things that have to be done, but then not stop there, because I have to continue going back in that closet, going through remaining of the boxes. I have to set some goals for myself, write some things down daily. Those things have to, are already done in my mind, and I will accomplish them. Never let the little slowing downs hold you back from keeping going forward. It's just not worth it. If it takes you an extra day to accomplish something, do you stop? Do you give up? No. You press on. And you continue. And it's amazing to me. The universe is truly faithful. God is faithful if you believe in God. He will accomplish in you, or the universe will accomplish within you, what you truly focus on. This is Ron Brown for your Being Truly Well Minutes. Have a great day. It's a sun day. A day when the sun is going to rise. Even if you're in a part of the country where there's rain, where there's clouds, the sun is still rising. It's there. You may not be able to see it, but it's there. So is your potential for reaching and exceeding your grasp of what you know will come true. Have a great one.